What's up, guys? Welcome back to Cool Fred's Garage. So I'm still working on the 73 Chevy. In the middle of doing some suspension work, getting the rear end painted up, getting ready to get the disc brakes back on there for good. So I basically took everything apart, test fitted everything, and then I replaced the upper control arm bushings. So I'm gonna show you guys what I got going on. So it's kind of a lot of stuff that I'm doing back here in the back of this 73 Impala. Pretty much while I got everything apart. Like I got some of the parts behind me here. So a lot of the stuff, like those springs are going back in the car. The rear end cover cap, that aluminum one, and I am gonna replace the shocks. So I've got this box over here from Summit, so I'll talk about that later, what I got over there. But so just got the axles. I had the old control arms and stuff laying out here too, but I had to clear up some space just to kind of get it less junky in here. So I took those back behind the house. So I'm in the process of putting these new control arms in here from Spoon. I've actually got the passenger side in. The driver's side I got out so I can kind of prep the rear end housing and paint the areas and stuff like that. So today I'm gonna try to do a multitude of things and start getting this stuff back together. Alright, so this is what I got going on so far. So pretty much the other day I left off with I put the bushing in on the passenger side, so I got both of those upper control arm bushings in here. That's from Spoon. I'll go over there so we can get a good look at it. So it was starting to get dark the other day, so I didn't really get a chance to get a lot of footage. But as you can see, I went on and wrapped up the exhaust and the tailpipes and stuff like that, just to kind of, that way when I'm spray painting the rear end housing, I don't get overspray everywhere. So this right here is the lower control arm, that new one, and then those are the upper adjustable ones there. So you can see where they got the grease fittings on them, where you can grease them up. This one over here is at the bottom. So got new hardware, got new bolts in there. So this side is done. I just pretty much got to work on the other side. And the other thing I got to do, I gotta scuff some area up here. I got a mark where I'm gonna weld those tabs that's gonna hold the brake lines nice and neat. So I'm working on that. And then I got to do a little bit more cleanup on the other side of the housing. Like down here on this side. I guess that was a little bit of WD-40. But you can see I got most of the rear end housing painted nice and neat. So everything is looking good there. So what I'm using to paint the rear end housing is this Summit specialty coating. This spray paint, this chassis spray paint. It's kind of like I want to say it's like kind of like a semi-flat black. So yeah, I got this from Summit. So it seems to be working pretty good. I was gonna go with the Eastwood. Actually, this is the color right here. So that's the part number SP1402 semi-gloss frame black. So this stuff seems to be holding up pretty good. Like I said, I was gonna go with the Eastwood, but during, I want to say over the holidays, one of the holiday sales they had, this was actually on sale, and I read through some of the reviews. It had pretty good reviews. So I mean, it's a nice color. It kind of matches the I want to say before I had like some Rust-Oleum chassis paint or something, because I think I have painted some of the other stuff up under here, like these frame wheels and stuff like that. And I mentioned to you guys the other day that I pressure washed up under here to try to get a lot of the old dirt and grime like cleaned off of the rear end housing. And this stuff right here holds up pretty good to a pressure washer. Even the spots that I hit with the Summit coat. So most of this side over here is kind of scuffed down a little bit. So I'm gonna final paint this side over here once I have a little bit more areas on this side of the housing, just where a little dirt and debris was stuck to over the years. So I got most of it cleaned up, but I gotta finish cleaning this side up, and then I'm gonna spray paint it, and it's gonna look just as good as the other side. So that's one of the bushes right there. That's that polyurethane upper control line bushing that spoon sells. And you can see I've already had like a new brake line, the flexible brake line for the rear. That's pretty much a stock part. I put that in some years ago when I put the springs and stuff in here. So everything looking good, pretty much ready to keep moving forward. But I'm just gonna clean a few things up and spray paint some areas like that right there, and then over here. So still got a little bit of cleanup to do on the rear end housing, but I'm gonna try to do it in a way so everything flow pretty good, so I can get most of it like knocked out today. So the plan is to pretty much mark this right here somewhere in the center where I mapped out to put those tabs at. I'm gonna clean that up and get that down to bare metal. Then while I'm kind of cleaning this up, I gotta have a little place for my welding clamp to go. So I'm gonna kind of clean that up to some bare metal, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to get those things welded on there, and then I can pretty much try to paint everything up at the same time. And when it gets dry, I can put those control arms back in on the driver's side and pretty much just go back with the disc brakes. So I got my welder rod over here that I'm gonna be using. And I got a welding helmet over there behind that plastic. I put this plastic here because basically so I don't get metal shards everywhere. I got to kind of grind down them tabs just a little bit and get those ready to weld in. So I put this plastic here while I'm over here kind of shaving those down and stuff like that. So basically all the metal, I can kind of have it in one place, and then the little metal debris, then I can kind of vacuum it up later, stuff like that. So I got a new welding helmet up here that I'm gonna be trying out. So it's supposed to be a monster view. It's my first time trying that out. I got one of the I think it's an Ironton behind. You can't see it hanging up right there, but I'm gonna try that other one that's got the bigger view on it. So that's pretty much just what I'm up to. So for now, I'm just gonna pretty much just get started and then just fire up the camera just in between, just to let you guys know the progress. All right, so every now and again I might share a couple of tips and tricks, or either what I'm up to doing. So pretty much what I'm doing is I'm trying to just make like a little bit of a round contour on these tabs. So these are the tabs that's going to secure to the back of the rear end housing, so that the brake lines can kind of have a secure location. So between the flexible holes and the hard line, it's going to have a location where it's nice and neat on the back of the rear end to secure it. So what I did was I took like a contour gauge that I got from Harbor Freight. Of course, I'm in the process of doing other projects around the house. So that's why I got a whole bunch of other tools and stuff over there, things like that. But this right here is a contour gauge that I picked up the other day from Harbor Freight. So you can use it for a multitude of things. I also got a magnet in the back because it just snagged the tab to it. So basically with this contour gauge, you can kind of put it up against something and then kind of trace out what you're trying to get a shape of. So I needed a more rounded shape, but these things come kind of square. So this right here just hug up to the tube of the rear end housing a little bit better. So that's kind of what I'm working on now. So I got one side done, and I'm working on doing this one right here. So you can tell I traced that with a Sharpie. And I'm gonna take like this. I'm gonna take this right here and just kind of make a rounded area. So So you don't have to be 100% perfect, but just as long as it's perfect enough. And I'm also kind of just, I'm not sure if it's like chrome or zinc, but just trying to shave it down a little bit so it have a weldable surface. I probably need to do this one a little bit more. So I'm using this right here. So this is a rotary tool I picked up off the, well, it's like a die grinder. It's an angle grinder here. So I picked this up off the tool truck about a couple weeks ago. So this is also adjustable, so I like that feature. So that's what I'm using to kind of clean things up. And this is also what I'm gonna use on the rear end housing to knock the paint off in the area that I need to weld those tabs. So that's pretty much what I'm up to right now. So, but just giving you guys some insight on some of the things that I do to you know, make this work. All right, so what I'm in the process of doing now is just figuring out where I'm gonna put them. Put those tabs at. So you got these little magnetic angle. So basically, like what it is, these right here. So they can kind of, it's like a magnetic holder. So you can, it'll stick to the rear end, and then, but this one on this side wasn't as strong. So I'm using that one, and I'm just kind of just mapping out where I'm gonna let it sit at. So I'm about to, I've already started grinding some material right here so I can put my welding clamp. And I'm finna go ahead and clean this up a little bit so I can have some area to actually tack that to. And that's what I'm finna do next is get those welded up. All right, so here we go. So I did get those tabs welded on the rear end housing there for the brake line and hoses. So they're not the best welds, but they'll do. So they're nice and sturdy. As you can see, when I tug on them, it'll kind of move the housing just a little bit. So they're nice and secure. All right, so I just got to get the rest of everything cleaned up so I can get everything painted. So I basically, I'm a beginner welder, just to let you guys know. So I did I got a little bit of practice time in with my welder maybe about 6 months ago, but I'm still playing around with it and stuff like that though. But you know, I do got these things, you know, they on there, ain't going nowhere. So I grounded them down. I grounded the welds down, try to get everything nice and smooth, and then I'm gonna hit it with that paint. But I'm gonna go ahead and get everything else cleaned up so I can go ahead and spray this thing while the sun is out and stuff like that, and it's nice weather. So, and then once all that gets done, I can go ahead and pop the control arms on, get the springs in, and get it going back together. All right, so I'm gonna give you a quick update. So I got got everything painted up back here. Those tabs I welded in here earlier. Got the rear end. So I got the rear end painted up. Got the area over here painted. That's where that lower control arm is gonna go over there, and then that's the other area it goes. So everything's looking pretty good. So I'm just gonna give some time for that paint to dry, and then I'm gonna go back with the control arm. So that's where you can see that's what I welded up there for the brake lines. So that's nice and sturdy, painted up real nice. So everything looking good. So that's gonna be it for today. Just trying to get stuff knocked out a little bit at a time. It took me a little bit of time to kind of get those tabs welded up and get that cleaned up pretty good. So, but pretty much everything's a step closer to being ready to just go back together. Everything's pretty much intact. So for now, I pretty much put these control arms back in the other side. So basically I just did one side at a time. And I painted one half of the rear end at a time. Because of course, like I mentioned earlier, I did pressure wash it the other day, but just trying to get all that grime and dirt and stuff off of there. You know, I'm not trying to get it 100% perfect, but just a lot better than what it was. So I feel it's a lot better than what it was. And to me, it's looking pretty decent. But yeah, I basically Got the control arm bushings in there the other day, those upper ones, those polyurethane bushings, so I'm happy about that. I'm happy about getting the tabs welded on the rear end housing, so pretty much next time, because it's really not going to take long to put those in there, but basically I did one side at a time just to kind of keep the rear end within alignment. So next time I'll be getting those back in there, getting the springs back in, and then I can kind of start just putting everything back together, and then everything pretty much be in position. Then I just gotta get my brake lines bend up, get those made, cut, and get the fittings and all that stuff on there. So that's pretty much it. So thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for checking out another video, another episode of Cool Fred's Garage. So it's coming slowly but for surely. So till next time, thank you guys for checking out the channel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff.